But good, listen, I wanted to say well done, everybody, well done for coming out tonight, because it's a brilliant show, and it's a great cause. You know, we're obviously here to support Christian Aid, which is excellent stuff. I mean, because obviously the big campaign now is it's combating global warming. That's what it is. I know a lot about that. I sure do. No, we've got to combat. I mean, I've started just leaving my fridge door open. You know, just come on. Every little helps, eh? Come on there. Come on. Overtime, fridge, freezer. Come on, there you go. It's good, because I've just celebrated my first year wedding anniversary, ladies and gentlemen. But even better than that, we'll soon be expecting the tiny powder of little feet. Thank you very much, thank you. I didn't want to get a pig, but no, we're having a real baby, and I'm very excited. It's my first child. I'm very excited. I mean, my wife's she's 11 weeks in at the moment, and it's kind of like she's already got that whole hormonal thing going on. Oh yeah. Kind of like she started playing a little game every morning called Guess What Mood I'm In? A good one? No. Right, and she's with this, she's already, I'm not sure if she meant to get it, but she's already started getting cravings, but it's solely for chocolate. That is it, right? It's just like chocolate. Like she even takes one to like a dairy milk to bed with her, right? She's like, oh, before going to, oh. I'm like, what are you doing that for? It's for baby. How on earth is that for baby, right? Well, and her reasoning is that if she eats enough of it, that when she breastfeeds, it's going to taste like Nesquik. She's going mental, genuinely mental, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a good thing, not a good sign. It's good. And she's got, I mean, she plays little games with me, like my wife, because like with this job, you do a lot of traveling around, genuinely a lot of traveling. Like she's got her little way of letting me know if I've been away from home that little bit too long. What she does, she removes me from a top 5 friends in Facebook, which I think is a little bit cruel, but it's true. But it's good. We're having a good time. Because I've been married a year now, and like my wife, I knew she was the one. Did you know, Aaron, that your wife was the one when you first met her? Yeah. Aaron, such conviction, yeah. You know, I love that you're so doing yourself injustice there. I do apologize. I do, because like when I first met my wife, you know, it was the first thing she said to me. She said, you know, I can make your wildest dreams come true. You can help me ride a unicorn? She's a liar. All these years, nothing. My wife's the one. She's starting to teach me that I can change the world. I've been married for 1 year now, and my wife's a much better campaigner, much better. She's a Christian Aid volunteer and all this kind of stuff, and she does great stuff. Like my sister as well, she's trying to get me to live sustainably now. She says best thing to do to live sustainably is put a brick in your toilet, because that conserves water. Tried it, just got stuck in the U-bend, to be honest. Just terrible mess, right? But my wife, you know, she's vegetarian, my wife, because she wants to live sustainably. Oh yes. And she said, look, Tony, I know you don't want to be vegetarian, okay, but at least for Lent, try and not eat meat, right? And I said, all right. So she forced me to not eat meat for the entire, and ladies and gentlemen, I made it 40 days without eating it. 40 days, but you should have seen me on Easter Sunday. Oh yeah. I had some making up to do, yeah. I sort of got up out of bed, ran down the stairs, this old bloke walking the dog outside, just grabbed it. Which is wrong, I know. It was a guide dog as well. Just, oh boy. Wrong. It's wrong. But it is, I mean, because I try and do the right thing, because my wife is a better Christian than me, much better. I mean, I try and be a good Christian, but she is a better one. I mean, when I ever try, I always screw it up. Like, I met this homeless guy a couple of weeks ago, and he said to me, all right, mate, can you spare some change? I said, well, depends what you're going to spend it on, really. Right? As though I'm all righteous and all this kind of stuff. And he said, well, you know what, I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm going to buy booze, all right? I said, you know what? Because you've been honest with me, there's in fact, there's £10, right? But if I see you buying sandwiches, what the hell's that? What the hell is that? You know, because I try and do the right thing, but it always goes on like, because my wife, when we first got married a year ago, right, she, you know, I wanted to move out to the suburbs, and like, I'm married now, that's it, I'll just stay, because you know, like, people do that, you know, like, they kind of get married and they go, right, see you world, I've got to, and he's like, my mate Dave did that, right, when he got married, he was like, Tony, you know me, when we get married, we're not going to be like all the others, we're going to carry on, you know, campaigning for the poor, and we're going to invite the poor into our homes and into our hearts. I said, all right then, Dave. I visited him 3 months after getting married in his brand new Barrett home, right? I'm like, Dave, where's all the poor? He's like, oh yeah, you see, Tony, we were going to invite them round, but then we went and got cream carpets. Ooh, just, Dave, you've sold out. But my wife was like, this is not going to happen to us. No, right? So she made us move to Avenham in Preston, to a street called Spencer Place, which is the red light district, properly right there. Because my wife was like, listen, Jesus hung around with prostitutes, so should you. Okay. You insist? Right, no, but she did, and she's like, so there's actually prostitutes on our street, right? Like there's one that marks, her little patch is just on the bit of pavement outside our house. She actually marks out in rouge, right? That's her patch. Now, her name's Donna, as in the kebab, right? And my wife's like, go on, get to know her. She's a neighbour. So I thought, all right, but I'm not kidding you, ladies and gentlemen, right? Small talk with a prostitute is harder than you think. Been busy? I don't know what I'm doing. What time you on till? Just, I don't know what I'm doing, right? But we got past all the awkward stuff, right? We did get past it. And my wife was like, come on, be a good Samaritan, being a good Christian, help her out, right? And I said, all right then, I'll tell her I'd help her out. Until, ladies and gentlemen, one day it went incredibly wrong. Now, this isn't a rude story, but it is one where I am an idiot, right? Because, like, Donna was like, I used to give her lifts to places to get, like, food and all that kind of stuff. So she got in the car one day. Wanted to lift her friends. Not a problem, Donna. She gets in the car. We start driving down the street, right? And then at the other side of the street is another prostitute called Candice. Now, the thing you need to know about Candice is she's massive. The biggest woman you ever likely to see in a boob tube, ever, right? Her claim is that in Lancashire, pound for pound, she's the best value. I know. I mean, she's got a placard and everything, right? And so she's like, like, because Donna's like, go on, pick her up, come on, and give her a lift as well. I'm like, are you sure? Yes, it'll be fine, Sony. All right, I'm trusting you on this, Donna. Now, Candice had a client with her at this point, and I promise you, to this day, I promise you, it was the bloke that played Greengrass in Heartbeats, right? What he's doing on my street in Preston, I do not know at all, right? So, like, Donna's like, so Candice, right, and Greengrass get in the car, and we drive round to this house that Donna told me to go to. I beep on the horn, and out of this house, right, is this rough area of Preston. Out of this house comes this. In Preston, we have I don't know if you have scallies here. We have scallies in Preston, like, and you can sort of tell he's like fully regaled in sports equipment, tracky bottoms, you know, like one of those caps, you know, trainers, but clearly not into sports at all, right? And he comes out of this house, right, and he does that walk, you know, that walk that like took him half an hour to get across the pavement. You know, I'm on a meter here. I'll come in. Oh, it's right. He gets to the car, right, and on the passenger seat side, right, the window's down, right, and there's Donna. As soon as he gets to the car, he starts passing medical equipment through the window, like pills, syringes. I'm looking at him thinking, he doesn't look like a pharmacist. Although his tracksuit is white, I'll give him that, right? He clocks me being properly green. He goes, are you all right, mate? Do you want sartan? I'm sorry, I don't have a prescription. I just... It's at this moment I realise what's happening, right? There's a drugs heist going on here. So I step on the accelerator, I burn off, right? He's dropping pills and syringes on the floor. He actually chases my car down the street like an angry baboon. Oi, what you doing? And it's at this moment the gravity of the situation hits me. My car is now full of drugs and prostitutes. My wife told me to be the good Samaritan. I've turned out a drug-running pimp. So I'm like, I've got to get rid of these people. So quickly, I burn around to this one house because Candice would not get out of the house and out of the car until I drove to this house, right? So quickly burn around to this house, right? And I'm like, get out, Candice, right? So her and Greengrass start to get out. But then Candice gives me petrol money. I'm thinking, I'm on the payroll here. I know how this shit goes down, right? So Candice and Greengrass get out of the car, and I quickly burn back round to my street to Spencer Place. And I'm like, Donna, get out of the car. You are never having a lift ever again, right? And Donna gets out of the car, right? I clear it out of all illegal items, right? And I think I've got away with it. Oh, yes, I think I've. Until 3 days later, ladies and gentlemen, my mum and dad come to visit. We're walking down the street, down Spencer Place, having a great time. Mum, Dad, it's all going fine until we get to the other end of the street, and there's Candice on the other side of the road. She thinks, oh, what's a good idea? I'll shout across. Kiri, Tony, thanks for the ride. Mum! You don't understand. She paid me. You've been excellent. I've been Tony Vino. Thank you very much. God bless. Good night. Thank you.